in this part we're going to look at error handling. So let's get started. Now we have our models group, so we're going to create a error wrapper in the model group. Now in our error wrapper we can create a struct that conforms to identifiable, and it has a property called ID, which is of type UUID. Now we can add the error property that conforms to the error protocol and a guidance string property. Now we can use the error protocol to assign a type to an error handling property, and the guidance string is displayed when the associated error occurs. So we can use the initializer to create a default init. Now it also gives us preview data to the error view that we can use. So let's create an error view. Now in the error view preview, we can add the error sample. So within the preview, we just add this sample. Now we can add a constant error wrapper property. And we're getting an error because the preview doesn't include the required parameter. So we're going to use a sample error to pass it to the preview. Now we are going to create a static previews method here, and we're going to create a static property called wrapper. Now we can pass the error wrapper to the error view initializer. let's build to see what that looks like. Now in the view body, we can embed the existing text in the VStack with a spacer. So we have our existing text and we're going to embed it in the VStack. So we can command click embed in VStack and also add padding and also add a spacer below the text. Now in the VStack, we can display an error message with the title, font and padding. Now we can add a text view to display the error description. Now we can add a text view to display the guidance. And we can add a material to create a blur effect behind the view. So in order to report errors, we can use data bindings and trigger a modal so the user can dismiss the modal. So let's take a look at that. We can wrap the navigation view. We can wrap the VStack in a navigation view. So let's command click on the VStack and embed it in a navigation view. Now we can change the navigation title to display inline. Now we can create a property called dismiss, which is an environment object. So with the environment property wrapper, we can read the value that the view's environment stores, and we can access what's in the view's dismiss structure and dismiss the view. So let's create a toolbar with one toolbar item. So the dismiss button in this case should be on one side, on the trailing side. So let's add a button that dismisses the view. That's the dismiss button. Now in the app.swift, we can add an optional state variable called error wrapper. Now the default value is nil, so when we assign a value to the state variable, SwiftUI will update the view. Now replace the fatal error call with assignments to the error wrapper. And in the task also we can do the same. Now we can add a sheet with a binding to the error wrapper item. So this is going to be binding or a sheet on the navigation view modifier. So it's on the navigation view also. Now this provides a closure to execute the code when the user dismisses the modal sheet, and a closure to supply a view to present modally. So now we can create an error view that passes in the error wrapper. Now we can supply some data when the user dismisses the error view. So in the onDismiss closure, we can assign sample data. Now we have to simulate an error to test if the app responds. Let's see if the app builds correctly. So the build is working. Now we can use the sandbox or the app sandbox to simulate an error. So let's see if we can do that. Let's run the app first. So we have 3 scrums listed here. Now we can take a look at the sandbox. So in the terminal, we'll find the path to our sandbox by running this command. This command should take in the bundle ID of the app. So in our case, the bundle ID of the app is codelabspro.com.codelabspro.codelabspro, and we can say data. So this now gives us the path to the app sandbox. Now we can execute open-a and the path. So in this case, we're going to find the path and open it. So it seems to be missing that path. So let's try to open it manually. So we have everything up until containers. We can switch to data and application, and within data application we should have the CAE path. So let's switch to CAEE, and within CAEE we should have the data here. So let's take a look at where we can find the data there. So it should be in the documents folder. Now this one has the scrums.data, so we can open it in our editor, and in this editor now we can remove the first occurrence of ID and save the file. So let's do that, and let's make a backup of this file. So we saved the file now. Now we can run the app and observe the error. So let's see why it didn't throw an error. So now we corrupted the data and this threw an error. So now we can dismiss the error, and we see that it's loading the sample data. Now we can press Command Shift H and we can run to verify that it loads properly. So now we have the error handling working. So see you in the next part where we're going to draw the timer view. Thanks for watching.